many, what do they call them? Kim Jong-un, Kim Jong-in, and Kim Jong-ul movies. They are very interesting productions. I've seen an interesting documentary lately with some basketball states. Like the only way to convince Kim Jong a diplomatic meeting is to bring some NBA players with you. That is how it is done. You need to, because Kim Jong, he likes basketball, so he has a respect for players. Although he likes to say on TV a lot things like, "We're gonna bomb USA." Yeah, that's what we are going to do. But it's not like that. He actually loves USA, and he probably watches US porn too. It's just Kim Jong-un saying, "Welcome to the glorious Vosto show." Should say something like, "Good evening. This is the Vosto. With the Vosto and Vosto special guest and Vosto, yes, that is what I should do." I don't know if I have some. Check it out on the magical space of the internet. I should be on though. There's no reason for this right now. Yeah, it's perfect. Perfect sound quality. I thought Bob Marley lately. He has some very, very, very good texts that are suitable for any kind of mindset. Including me. I like to listen to Bob Marley a lot. And there's this song called "Hidden," which says something like, "Rise up, fallen fighters. Rise and take your stand. 'Tis he who fight and run away, live to fight the day. With the hidden back tape, as a man so shall he reap. And I know that talk is cheap, but the hotter the battle, the sweeter the victory." Son. It's a very good song. Search it on the internet. So yeah, Darkcity radio right now. This is the where you hear about IT stuff, IT related stuff, hacking news, world events, and my I almost said glorious again. My fascinating points of views, of course. Yes. So, we shall begin with the Stellar Wind Surveillance Program under the Obama administration. According to secret documents obtained by Obama administration security agency to surveil the emails and internet metadata of all Americans. This secret warrantless surveillance program, collectively known by the NSA, codename Stellar Wind, was in 2001, to hand over the data to the United States government. Program was officially authorized after the September 11, 2001 terrorist attacks. Of course, yet again we find 2011 September 11 stuff. President George W. Bush continued under 2011. A federal judge at the FISA court approved this bulk collection order for internet metadata in over 90 days. Documents also exposed that all communications with at least one communicant outside the United States, or for which no communicant was known to be a citizen of the United States, was recorded by a surveillance program. Metadata also details the internet protocol addresses used by people inside the United States when sending emails information which can reflect their physical location. There were internal disputes within the Justice Department of the program because the data for large numbers of people, not just the subjects of Foreign Intelligence Surveillance Act warrants. Deputy Attorney General James Code defended the bulk collection of American phone records as outside the scope of the Fourth Amendment's protections against unreasonable searches and seizures. Quote, phone records like these that don't include any content are not covered by the Fourth Amendment. Reasonable expectations of privacy in who they called and when they called. End quote. Cole testified to the House team. That's something you show to the phone company. That's something you show to many, many people within the phone company on a regular basis, he added. So this program continued for more than 2 years into the Obama administration, but Bush's email metadata program had restrictions on the scope of the bulk records the NSA analyzed. This goes in perfect synchronization with the recent NSA stuff. My internets are not very good. The internet is not... Okay, now something for the... You know, we got to put mongering inside everyone. Because we're gone for 2 weeks. So I have to frighten you a bit before I leave. Malware threats to Opera users, Trojan signed with the stolen certificate. Browser maker Opera admitted that attack on its internal network infrastructure, and Windows user may have been tricked into installing a Trojan signed with the stolen Opera certificate. But on June 19th, halted and contained a targeted attack on our internal network infrastructure. Our system, and there is no evidence of any user data being compromised. We are working with the irrelevant authorities to investigate its source and further extent. We will let you know if there are any developments, said in a post on the Opera Security blog. Code signing certificates are used to cryptographically verify that a piece of software comes from its purported publisher. It is possible that a few thousand Windows users who were using Opera between 1 and 136 UTC. And we've got Dave here.
Oh.
What's up, Dave?
How are you?
Well, I'm doing my I should stop saying glorious. I'm doing my Vosto show.
Oh,
right
cool.
now.
Oh, right now, yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah, like right now. So, are you using Opera by any chance?
Am I using... Sorry?
Opera.
Firefox, I think.
Yeah, because Opera browser got very attacked, you know. People actually downloaded fake downloads that was exploited, and they downloaded a big Trojan in their system during between 1 and 136 on June the 19th.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know if you...
No, I didn't. I don't even... Rubbish with all the technical stuff.
Imagine if you would... Firefox, you know, and you would actually download the fake Firefox. How do you feel about that? Yeah. The thing is, can we really trust these companies which say that they are very trustable and the fastest downloads now because it is good for you and our browser is the best. You know? Should we fall for that?
If we went through everything that they said was good for us, I think we'd uncover a lot of lies.
It is good for you.
But in fact, that's what's happened.
Yeah. That's what's happening. And also, you know, people who trust Facebook. You know, there is some news recently, just
with the NSA
2 days ago,
uh-huh.
about hacking just by using a single text message. If you want, I can read this article.
Yeah, go on. Yeah.
So, hacking Facebook account with just a text message. Can you ever imagine that a single text message is enough to hack any Facebook account with user interaction or without using any other malicious stuff like Trojans, phishing, keylogger, and so on? Today, we are going to explain you that how a UK-based security researcher called Finit, that is his nickname, is able to hack any Facebook account within a minute by doing one SMS. Because 90% of us are Facebook user too, so we know that there is an option of linking your mobile phone number with your account, which allows you to receive Facebook accounts updates via SMS directly to your mobile phone. Then also you can log in into your account using that link number rather than your email address or username. According to the hacker, the loophole was in phone number linking process, or in technical terms, at file Ajax settings mobile /confirm _phone.php. This particular web page works in background when a user submits his phone number and verification code sent by Facebook to mobile. That submission form having two main parameters, one for verification code and second is profile underscore ID, which is the account to link the number to. As attacker, you can follow 2 steps. One is to change value of profile ID to the victim profile ID value by tampering the parameters. Second, send the letter F to 32665, which is Facebook SMS shortcode in the UK. You will receive an 8-character verification code back. 3, enter that code into the box or as confirmation underscore code parameter value and submit the form. Facebook will accept that confirmation code and attacker's mobile number will be linked to victim's Facebook profile. Yeah. In next step, hacker just need to go to forgot password options and initiate a password reset request against of victim's account. Attacker now can get password recovery code to his own mobile number, which is linked to victim's account using above steps. Enter the code and receive the password. Facebook no longer accepting the profile underscore ID parameter from the user, and after receiving the bug report from the hacker, in return, Facebook paying $20,000 to Finit as bug bounty. So this guy actually got paid for finding this bug with like $20K. To the owner of the site and receive a nice payment with which we can do whatever we please. But yeah,
I just heard today that they are planning to, by 2016, digitalize completely all paperwork in respect of court cases. So there will be no more signed paperwork anywhere in relation to any court case. It will all be digitalized. That
like
is very scary.
When is it that you say? So
2016.
Well, we can imagine that is where we are going anyway. You know, they will try to eliminate the paper, digitalize the information, not only in court, but in general. You know, they will probably digitalize every information on you. You will have to pay only with your card. No cash accepted. You know, there will actually not be any physical thing that you can touch other than digits, you know.
Yeah, well, Aaron Russo predicted a cashless society back in, I think, 2008 or 2009, didn't he?
Well, yeah, but it's quite obvious, you know, like progress of technology, things will move from paper to flashy screens. And when it moves to flashy screens, everything will be so easily exploitable, you know,
exactly.
by every,
very, very scary.
By every criminal organization, because everything will be centralized. So when you centralize everything, it's worse basically than when it was not centralized. Because when it's not centralized, you can't really find the information that easy. You need to go to different places. And what are you going to do? Are you going to break in the rooms with guns? You know, but if everything is digitalized, you just need to know how to exploit a place, get the information virtually and put it on your USB.
Yeah.
And that is all. That is all when it comes to stuff like this. And it's getting easier and easier. As we can see now, when internet is connected to the phone, it's easier now to hack even, you know, starting with Facebook accounts, which are let's say they are important to some people, you know, like I don't care if my Facebook dies tomorrow, you know.
No, I don't either.
And I don't even have my real name on it or anything else, you know. But there are people, like most of my Romanian friends, I realize that they like to put their real name out there. They like to upload their photos where they go to their events, you know. My child did this. I like to go to the swimming pool. I went with my friend to that bar. like everything they photograph and they put on Facebook under their real name, which for me is just retarded. Like, are you living your life for someone else? That is the question,
Yeah, it gets too much. That 100%. It gets a bit crazy. You see people like when they're on holiday, if they have a bit of food, or people putting what they had for tea on there, and that's kind of a bit strange,
Yeah, and also I saw like there was this guy who wanted to prove how I'm using the wrong words. He wanted to show off like his I really don't know how to explain, like putting your I don't know, wife. He was getting married, so he was saying to all the people to check out the new dress of his wife and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like it was like you should judge how your dress looks like. Why show your wife to the people? And there were like 100 likes and 200 comments in which there were a lot of pervs, and the guy didn't seem very unhappy about that. He was like, yeah, she's so hot.
Wow.
So
that's incredible.
So what is marriage becoming?
Parading. He was parading her online.
Yes. I mean, that's something that you should cherish in an intimate way, not just throw around and wait for the pervs' reactions.
God, that is that aspect of Facebook. I use Facebook just to rant. I don't know if you see my Facebook page, but I use it just to go on there and have a good rant and share information. Did you see the recent post that Lee placed on there with regards to being able to access any information that the police or any other authority?
We should find that.
Yeah, I'll. Do you want me to go on the Facebook and try and find it, and I'll send it to you?
Yeah, that would be cool.
I'll go on there now. Do you want me to mute out?
What?
Do you want me to mute out, or will it be okay?
No, I don't think your typing can be heard.
Okay.
But it was basically about the possibility. Wait, we have Hazel in the call, I think. Yes, I need to call her.
Hi, Hazel.
She dropped. Hey, Hazel. Welcome to the Vosto show.
Hey, I lost the sound of the radio.
What?
I lost the sound.
The sound is lost.
From Darkcity, yeah.
The sound is lost. I want to see if it is truly lost. One, two, three. Testing. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. No, it's not lost. It was just you, Hazel. So how is your Facebook doing?
It's okay. I just wing stuff out there. I couldn't care if I have it or not.
Yes. Is it fully secure? Do you feel?
I have no idea. I've been hacked so many times.
Do you put your real information on there for people to admire?
No. No, not in the least.
Well, that is good to hear. How about your real life friends? Do they put their real information out there, and they like to do it, or?
Oh, they do. I can tell you where they're going and what they're doing, what time they're going to be there, when they're going to stop work, when they're going to go on holidays. That's pretty scary crap.
Yeah, there was there was a warning message on a building which said, please get outside of the building in case of a fire before you post it on Facebook.
Yeah, the
It's
common
for
sense
your
kind
own
of went out.
safety.
Yep. People need to be told common sense. I'm going to charge for common sense. I'm going to start selling it.
Selling
$2 a question.
What is your marketing plan?
And go to the farmer's market and sell common sense.
Have you, Ali was just saying, have you seen the video where the alarm goes off in the supermarket and, oh, it's your video, is it? Yeah, she was in a supermarket and an alarm was going off, like a really serious sounding alarm, and everybody just carried on doing their shopping.
Oh,
and they were telling the people to evacuate the store, and they just carried on shopping.
oh wow.
So I just put that link in the chat box.
Yeah, I see it. I see it. It's quite big though. It's not the one that I remember though. Mine was about if you go to a protest, you will be put on a list with
but
possible
you can
terrorists.
access any information now through this thing. You can access that information which they hold on you. So if they're trying to profile you or calling you, I don't know, a protester or a free man on the land or whatever you want to call it, a terrorist. They're very scary with words. You can access the information that they hold.
Yes, it says here you can request police notebooks.
Mm-hmm.
You can get radio traffic, which is legal. I know of a case like when it was the Boston bombings and the pursuit of that guy. He anonymous operations quickly fetched out a link where you could actually listen live to the radio of the police. They were pursuing the guy, and it was okay, I think it was an actual policeman who was uploading to Ustream.
Wow.
So he was helping out in case of abuses.
Yeah.
What else it says here? You can request for police station CCTV footage.
Yeah.
From the moment you enter a police station or a custody suit until the moment you leave, you are being recorded everywhere. From the car park to the front desk to the cells and the interview room. And if you ask for the footage, they have to give you every last uninterrupted second of it by way of a DVD. Wow. So imagine how much troll this will be, because they won't like this, and probably they don't even inform people that they can do this in the first place. So if actually someone stays up and requests for this information, I'm curious if he will actually get it.
I'm putting my request in on Monday.
What? You had yours requested?
Yeah. I'm going to request it this Monday, but for the video stuff, Ali was saying it's got the time on it, so it's really hard for them to edit it.
Uh-huh.
So it'll be interesting. But everything's up for a bit of corruption
anyway. Check this out.
The
incident log. The incident log is a record of every phone call, inquiry or contact made between the police and the public, as well as covering emergency calls. It also covers routine non-emergency matters and internal memos made by Plod themselves. Obtaining a full copy of the incident log is vital when you are making a complaint or pursuing any kind of legal action against the police. because this is where all the comprehensive notes and fairy tale imaginings are submitted each time they undertake anything associated with or followed up from the original incident. The bullshit that can be found among the annotations on these records is breathtaking, often containing nothing but idle, one-sided reimagining of events that bear absolutely no relation to the incident itself, as well as paragraphs full of ruinous gossip with outside agencies, such as social services, all designed to pile as much crap on you as possible, while distancing themselves from any charge of negligence or misconduct. Under AOFI rules, you are entitled to see every instance of fiction penned about you. Get it? Nice. You know what else I saw today on the news? I saw this teen arrested because he posted on his Facebook a joke. You know, he was
Who was arrested? Sorry,
a teenager. He was reported because he had a message that was similar to that of a terrorist. But it was only a joke, you know. And why did he ended up arrested? Because there was this woman who reported him to the police. You know, she actually sent the message, you know, print screen and all that. And the police actually took it seriously and went to arrest this kid, you know. And it was actually under the message, it was the letters JK LOL, which we know that it means just kidding and laughing out loud. So it's obviously a joke, right?
Yeah.
But this woman didn't know, and also the police people didn't know. So what kind of world is this, you know? Oh my God.
It's crazy. I don't know if you heard me on the show last night. I was covering, my son went out in his car for the first time the other night. He passed his test a good while ago, and finally got his car ready, and he went out to drop his girlfriend off. The police, flagged him in, came up to his window, and he kind of knows a bit of stuff, and he sort of just wound the window down a little bit. And the policeman said, wind the window down, you know, open the door. And he said, with respect, sir, what have I done wrong? And the policeman just came unglued and started, like, banging his chest, threatening him. Then he tried to make him wind the window down and open the door. And he was asking, am I obliged to do that? And then he claimed that the car wasn't insured. So my son was trying to ring me. Then he tried to steal his phone off him, said he couldn't make a phone call, kept trying to steal the phone, had it in his hand at one point, and then my son managed to get it back. But this was all, you know, this was all based apparently on a phone call that said that somebody heard an engine revving. They were sort of threatening him with arrest. They were threatening him for arrest for theft of a motor vehicle, because they were claiming he didn't own it. And then one turned to the other and said, right, what can we do him for? And basically they were just threatening him the whole time, and he had to sign this public nuisance notice, section 59. All sorts of stuff. So the shit's going to hit the fan a bit about that. But that's just, I mean, and he's a really nice guy as well. He's a quiet lad, and he doesn't be going out looking for trouble. He's a kind character, and this was the way he was treated. But the trouble is now, in being treated like that, I say everybody's got a pushing point. All he's doing now is flat out studying all his rights and really getting himself up to speed with it. So
he saw the real police behavior.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's the case in the majority, but some of the police guys out there are definitely very abusive in their actions for no reason at all. Maybe they are frustrated because of their boss or because of their wage or because of their personal life. But that shouldn't be brought upon the citizens, you know.
No, definitely.
You might as well.
Did you know that they profile them as well in order to not question and in order to be sociopaths or whatever, sociopathic, to have sociopathic tendencies?
But I bet these tests that they are doing, some of them are bribed away or...
Yeah, I mean, there was I don't know if you've heard Dean Clifford talking about it. There was a guy in America that was denied being taken into the police force because he was too intelligent.
Wow. Well, obviously, because they need dumb idiots who can just harass people and put them in their place.
Yeah.
They don't need smart policemen like.
You know, and I was asking the sergeant, I said, well, was the complaint that they had, firstly, he was very vague on the area of the complaint. Secondly, I said, like, was the complaint made, did it specifically give my son's registration number as, you know, the car that was claimed to have been revving the engine? I mean, bear in mind, this is the first time he's been out in a car since passing his test maybe 5 months ago or 4 months ago. So he's not the best at pulling away and stuff. But, you know, and the sergeant was like, well, no, it's not mentioned in the log. And so basically what you have is an arbitrary decision made by some thug on the side of the road based on hearsay. So there's no facts or evidence, yet he signed this notice, and apparently, because of this notice now, they say that somebody I know spoke to a policeman, like another policeman or an ex-policeman, and because of that notice, apparently every time they see the car, it'll flag up, and they'll pull him over just as a routine stop every time they see him. So he's going to end up getting victimized. So we were discussing last night there, sort of putting a notice onto the police, putting some stickers in the window of the car, and actually having CCTV running all the time in the car, and then being wired up to, you know, sent by Wi-Fi to a iCloud or something like that.
Yes, that would be cool. Right. So this policeman, you should actually get his name and try to troll him a little bit.
Oh yeah, I have. It's M. Spruce of Gwent Police, Newport Central Station. And Hazel just said a point, you know, which I did cover last night on the show, and it's the thing. What they've done now is, before Bradley kind of knew, he knows what I'm up to, and he knows, you know, the stuff I'm trying to teach people and things like that. But I don't think he quite got the reason that I was doing it. But no, after the other night, he fully gets the reason that I'm now doing it. And what he's going to do as a result of that is he's going to start sharing the info with his friends. And then, you know, Paul came up with a superb idea that any time that one of them stopped, they all start filming and such like that. And they you know, inform the police that they are independent police observers.
Oh, of course. That's what we need to do. And it's 100% legal, right?
Yes, yeah, it is, yeah. The only way you can't film, I think there's a new video on it, and I'll try and post that in the chat box now. If they suspect you of using it for terrorism. So, because they did, that law was brought in and they abused it, didn't they?
Everything is for terrorism these days, right?
Yeah.
So did your son sign something? Did he had to sign something?
Yeah, he was trying to put, you know, that he was threatened, but and even when he was trying to qualify his signature, because I always tell him to qualify his signature, they were trying to stop him doing that as well. So what we're doing is we're doing affidavits to, you know, to confirm exactly what happened. He's done a transcript of the, you know, both the conversations, and we'll just sort of put it in the affidavit that he felt threatened and intimidated, I'm just doing two things at once. But yeah, he threatened and intimidated, and that's the only reason that he signed the paperwork.
Right.
So we'll get that on record, get it straight up to because the sergeant yesterday came in an hour early just to phone me again, because he'd received an email that I'd phoned in again in relation to this. And he was very, very keen to come out and take a statement, a statement. And I was just saying in the chat box there, Hazel was saying about qualifying the signature. When you do, say if you sign a bit of paperwork, if you don't qualify what capacity you sign paperwork in, you leave the signature or the capacity in which you signed it open to a presumption of law. So they can presume you were acting in the capacity of a, for example, an agent of government or an agent of the Crown, which is what the acts and statutes apply to. So like I always get him to qualify his signature as authorised representative or authorised administrator of the name. Because the authorised administrator and authorised representative of the name are never liable. But, you see it like if you get a letter off a solicitor, they'll put, I had a letter off Charlie Jones today, but it was signed Charlie Jones LLB, limited liability barrister. So it's just a way of qualifying who you are or what you were doing when you signed that paperwork. So, yeah.
Right. My brother had an interesting case on the street. He was pulled over by the police for unknown reasons, and they wanted to fine him for something. I don't remember exactly for what, but I'm sure he didn't do anything that bad, But when they told my brother to sign it, because my brother was so raged that he was actually not guilty of anything, and was asked to sign something that proved that he was guilty. My brother just didn't sign, and he left.
Yeah.
Leaving the police with their abuses right where they were. And he just left. That's how my brother dealt with it, and it worked, and nothing happened after that because the police knew that they were dumb too. And
yeah,
we have
and
a
it's
caller here. Good evening, welcome to Vosto show. Hello. Caller
he hung up.
disappeared.
Oh. But yeah, you're saying like with that it is a hidden contract. But the thing with that is the problem with it is that contract was signed when he was stressed. It was signed when he was threatened and intimidated. Now, although it's difficult to undo something, that he's already agreed to, he was forced into agreeing to it. And the question I asked him, I said, would you have signed that paperwork if you did not feel threatened and intimidated? And he said, not a chance. He said, I know not to sign paperwork.
Yeah, that's what they did to my brother. They were starting to cuss him, to make be very angry, and that's gonna solve anything,
Yeah. And I mean, if you can imagine, he's an 18-year-old lad, and he's quite he's a placid lad, and he's not been in trouble or had the cause to be, and then, in the middle of 2 or whatever in the morning, threatening to arrest him and take him to the police station and throwing all of these allegations at him. Although he kind of knows a bit of stuff that I do, he was still clearly threatened by that, and anybody would be. That's the first experience he's had of a police constable or a so-called police constable.
And what an experience!
what an experience! But like Hazel says, and like I say, really, it's a good thing because he will learn his stuff now, and then he will go out. People will see that working. People will see him standing up for himself, and they'll think, "Hey, this is pretty cool."
Yeah.
What's this all about? And then all of a sudden he'll be the cool guy, and then everybody else will jump on the bandwagon, and it will spread. These people are, I think, in their oath, they're sworn to protect our fundamental rights in the oath that they take when they're sworn in as a police constable. And the trouble is they can operate in two different capacities. They can operate in the capacity of a police constable, in which they have to honour their oath of office, or they can act as a police officer. So what we are seeing more and more and more, and I think in Canada where Hazel is, there's a difference when they take their hat off and keep their hat on as to what capacity they're acting under, but you'd have to check out what that is because I don't know that. But I guess what we're coming up more and more now is the police officer, where they're not acting under their oath of office because they are in the capacity, and we come back to the capacity thing again. They're the police officer, not the police constable. So, a good way to get around that is say, good evening, constable, I accept your oath of office. So.
Although I think many of these policemen don't even know what you are going to talk about when you are going to say those words.
Quite probably, because they are I've shown a number of police a quote from a law book which clearly states that the Crown only have legal powers in the capacity of employer, and they point blank just refuse to believe it. They are so ignorant of the law. I had one policeman telling me that he didn't need to know the law to be a policeman. And that's crazy. In order to enforce the law, you need to know the law.
Of course, and
a good, if anybody is interested, and they get to cross-examine a policeman in court in relation to like a menial traffic matter or something. A good way to lead a policeman on is to say, well, you've done me under Section 172 of the Road Traffic Act 1988. Can you please read that act to me?
Yeah.
and just go quiet and just imagine what the things that are going to go on in that guy's head. Well, if you can't read the whole act, can you just read a small section of that act? Can you read the relevant section to me? And I bet you any money that they won't know what the relevant section is. And if they don't, then your argument for the court should be, Madam, how could I have been, in violation of this act, according to this policeman's statement, yet he can't even recite me the relevant part of the act that he's accusing me.
Yeah, and record it, you have to record it.
Yeah.
In my country, like in my local area here, there have been a number of cases where the police wasn't able to do exactly what you are saying. They started accusing people of doing stuff that they didn't actually do and say that, it's paragraph number 5 from the law 61 or something like that, But it wasn't actually anything related to that. And there was another police guy who told the other ones which were wrong that they are wrong, And that was very funny, to hear another police guy which was older, He was like, you are wrong. That law is not about what you are saying it is. This man has done nothing wrong. Please leave him alone and let's go ahead with our business. So the power of the veteran policeman,
But if they, a fundamental right, a fundamental human right is not to be deprived of property without due process of law. And there can never be a law that would interfere with that. They can't construe a law or create a law or whatever that would be contrary to that. So, in fact, when they take your car off you at the drop of a hat now on the side of the road, and they'll leave you on the side of the road in the pouring rain in the middle of nowhere, just because they claim you haven't got this insurance that declares you're carrying out a public function. But number one, there's no due process of law. And number two, that violates the very rights that they have sworn an oath to protect. I mean, how stupid do you have to be to do that? How ignorant of the law do you have to be to carry out these acts against people?
It's exactly the opposite.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, one positive thing which has happened in my community is that the CCTV cameras are all dead. You know, they don't function. They're like dead. Some of them have even like fallen off. You know,
That's brilliant.
Yeah, and no one replaces them because you know, the government hasn't got any funding for the poor policemen, and they recently reduced the wages of the police. So I don't know. Maybe some of them deserve this kind of treatment.
Yeah,
and it's
yeah,
ultimately it has positive effects on the population because it's less in surveillance. I don't think that this whole surveillance is necessary for you know, it's too much, really. It's too much. Like that's why criminality happens, because people get raged. You know, there's too much, and if there's too much,
yeah, it's
you
just
can
bottling it up, and
you can get mentally
tension.
I don't know. Like I'm not really. I'm not a driver. You know, I use trains. I use taxis, buses, all that kind of jazz. Because one, I don't really like driving, and second, you know, I don't want to be abused by these idiots and get fined for nothing.
Yeah.
I also like to hitchhike sometimes. It's fun. It's not so perfect, you know. It's not the perfect means of transportation by any means, but it's fun. I mean, it depends on what goal you have. If you have to go somewhere really quick, and you know, I can always call a friend to take me, and I pay the gas, no problem.
Yeah.
But I like to chill out, you know. I like to go on the train and look on the window, and you know, to the landscapes and all that kind of things.
Yeah, but you imagine, you say about the debt, you know, about the debt thing, putting them in, you know, putting you in debt and fines and stuff like that. You imagine, with the example of my son, how quickly they will put him into debt. You know, if they're going to be pulling him over left, right, and centre. I mean, the car had only just passed its, I don't know if you have an MOT test where you are, but it's basically a test to certify that the car is roadworthy. It had only passed the test at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and 12 hours later, you've got a policeman on the side of the road who is not qualified. He's not a vehicle inspector, inspecting the front brakes, and he hadn't got a clue what he's looking at.
Yeah.
But he's seeing fit to inspect the vehicle, you know?
No, that's really retarded.
Very. I asked the sergeant, I said, is he a qualified vehicle examiner? And he said, well, no.
That should be insulting for the retards. If I call that guy a retard, I'm insulting the retard. And and that being said, I think we have reached the end of today's broadcast. So thank you for being here. Thank you if there is someone there listening. You know, I appreciate you listening. And see you next time. Ciao.